In the quaint village of Eldoria, a place where the hills meet the sky and the rivers sing lullabies, there lived a sage named Eliora. Renowned for her wisdom and serene countenance, people from distant lands would journey to seek her counsel, hoping to find the answers that eluded their hearts and minds. One misty morning, as the dew still clung to the cobwebs spun on elderflowers, a troubled soul approached her. The young man, known as Tolan, was wrought with existential dread, besieged by questions about his purpose and the existence of a higher power. "Sage Eliora," he implored, "how can we be certain that a divine essence governs us? My heart is a battlefield of doubt and faith." Eliora invited Tolan to sit beside her near the village's gentle stream. She picked up 2 stones from the bank, handing one to Tolan. "Feel this stone," she instructed. "Observe its weight, its texture, and its temperature. Now, cast it into the stream." As Tolan did so, they watched the ripples expand outward until they dissolved into the calmness once more. "These ripples," Eliora began, "are like the influence of the divine. Some see the stone causing ripples and trust in its unseen journey beneath the waters. Others doubt because they can no longer see the stone. But the impact was real, the change visible for a moment." Tolan, intrigued, nodded for her to continue. "So too is the nature of divine essence. Our actions, driven by faith or doubt, create ripples in the universe, ripples that shape our lives, our societies, even our own inner peace. The stone, whether seen or unseen, whether in light or in shadow, continues its path, influenced by the forces around it, much like us with the divine." Eliora paused, letting the silence speak as they watched the water return to tranquility. "But how do we know if our actions align with this divine essence?" Tolan asked, his voice a mixture of hope and skepticism. Eliora smiled gently. "By the peace or turmoil that follows. When we act in harmony with love, compassion, and truth, the ripples we create lead to greater peace, both internally and externally. If we act against these virtues, the ripples clash, chaos ensues, and our hearts know no peace." The conversation drifted, as did the clouds above, and Tolan spent the day with Eliora, discussing life, the universe, and the threads of faith that stitch the cosmos together. As the sun painted the sky with hues of orange and pink, Tolan felt a lightness, as if the heavy cloak of doubt had been lifted, replaced by a shawl of hopeful inquiry. Weeks turned to months, and the seasons mirrored Tolan's transformation. He returned to Eldoria often, each visit deepening his understanding and his peace. Eventually, Tolan, now an old man with eyes reflecting the wisdom of a well-lived life, sat by the same stream, a young inquirer beside him. As the young woman posed questions of the divine, Tolan shared Eliora's lesson of the ripples and the stones. The cycle of wisdom continued, as eternal and profound as the stream itself, flowing endlessly from one soul to another, an echo of the infinite within each human spirit. Thus, through the ripples of conversation and the stones of our actions, the divine subtly assures us of its presence, a gentle undercurrent in the river of our lives, guiding, not imposing, a quiet whisper among the roars of existence.